Okay, well, thank you, Sean. I've been my pleasure to be a city councilor now for a few years, and I've been very excited to do that because it gives me a chance to work in that role with the public. And I was born here, and I've seen the needs here, and because of that, over the years, I've joined things like the Masons and the Elks, the Kiwanis, the Historical Society, the Air Museum, the Snowmobile Club, and a group of seven of us started the local cancer group to support our citizens that are dealing with cancer treatment. So that's why I'm running, is to continue to do those things.
At this time, we will begin and ask you 6 questions. You will have a minute for each of those. The first question is, why are you running?
Well, I think the big thing is to be a voice in the community, to take my concerns and the constituents' concerns, and to do something with that positively with the public. And I think being visible in the community and interacting with the community is the number one way to do that. And so things that I've done, like I joined, of course, Facebook, like everyone, but there wasn't a way for Presque Isle to get out the message of what it was doing. So I started the Positively Presque Isle website, which is on Facebook. Last month, over 33,000 people interacted with that site to get information about our community. There's nearly 7,600 members. And on my own page, pushing out information, over 300,000 people interacted with messages that I put there. So I think continuing to do those types of things to get the message of Presque Isle out and what we're doing and the positive, great things that are going on, as well as concerns, is what I'm going to continue to do and what I'd like to keep working on.
Question number 2, what do you think is the most important skill of being a good city councilor?
So I think that being, of course, being in the community, being visible in the community, being a member of groups in the community, talking about what the issues are, but more importantly than talking, actually doing. Working downtown, when get up at 5 a.m. and put out flags on Main Street, or you go and work at the Trash and Treasure Show, or you do the city cleanup, or, you work with different individuals at their businesses to promote items. The car tour we did a year ago and had everyone downtown with Star City Syndicate and had, a couple thousand people on our Main Street enjoying themselves in our community. I think connecting people with the community and connecting people with their city government are some of the most important things that a city councilor can do. And I have a passion for doing that, and I have for many years. So I continue to do that in the future and look forward to the next challenge.
What's a recommended change that you would implement if elected to city council?
Well, so that's the thing. I think that's the first thing that people always talk about government. What are you going to change? And I think that change comes organically from you, the community, and from the council and from the staff at the city. Change isn't something necessarily you set out to do. I think carefully looking at things that work and don't work are things that are important. I don't think any should go out for change as their first thing. I think correcting things, I think making things more streamlined are more important. And I think continuing the legacy of Presque Isle, we've always been a community of change and progressive. We're the ones that have the industrial park with 900 jobs. We're the ones with the airport. We're the ones with 3 universities in our community. We're the ones with them all. We're the ones with a downtown still. So Presque Isle has a long history of being different than the other communities around it because we continue to change with the times. And that doesn't always make it popular. In fact, it makes some of us very unpopular at times because that is the biggest part of doing things, is dealing with change.
What's your stance on working across the aisle and with people of different political parties and or political ideologies from you?
Yeah, so I think number one, we're all neighbors. In a community, political parties, and certainly on city council, are not at all important. They aren't even a consideration. We have people that work in our city government that are from all persuasions, all ideologies, religions, races. We don't dwell on any one particular thing. We all have our own personal ideas about what our opinion of things are, but that doesn't prevent us from working with other people. I don't think that when it comes to decisions of the city that they're ever coming down as either liberal or conservative. Most of our decisions are made with our constituents that come in and speak with us, either privately or in public. Our staff that does a wonderful job running the city, and all of the committees in the city that people join on boards and give us their input. So we aren't driven by an ideology. We're driven by working together, always have, and I certainly hope we always will.
Number 5, given existing budget constraints, how would you stretch taxpayer dollars and still meet existing needs or resources for the community?
Absolutely. Continue to build new businesses. To give a great example, FW Web Company a couple of years ago came to the city and said, listen, we want to move to Presque Isle. We are no longer going to stay in our current location in the county, and we want to come to Presque Isle. If you can't make it work, we're just going to go on to Vermont and start our next building, and we won't do anything. So we had to work through state tax programs, the tax increment financing programs. We were able to find a way. Their biggest hangup was a bill that was about $400,000 in infrastructure for water sewer, so their building could be here. So we worked through a way that found those dollars and returns those dollars to them over 10 years to pay for that infrastructure. It didn't come out of the taxpayer's pocket, but yet it made the deal work. So I think things like this, our new car wash, certainly the mall. A year ago, we were looking at the mall closing. So I and about 10 others got together and started working diligently and helped Dana to make that work. So we're going to continue to do those kinds of things because they're important.
And our final question, assess the recent performance of the city council, and if elected, would you keep it on the same direction or path or change course? Why or why not?
Absolutely. So I think the thing is, it's awfully easy to criticize any person or any organization if you aren't dealing with them personally. So I would say that there's always room for change, but I think we have a really great track record in our community. And just a few things, in the last few years, we've implemented partnerships with laboring communities so that they now have tax assessing services that they pay Presque Isle for, and that's a revenue source. Our garbage program, which was pretty much a disaster and cost the city taxpayer over $500,000, today is a revenue source for the city, and we combine with 3 other communities to pay for it. We also are working right now with housing contractors to build apartments, homes, and many new businesses. We have a brand new restaurant coming in the next few days. That's another item that's coming because of the mall development. So I think basically what I would say, we're always looking for new things to do, and we're always looking for new opportunities. And JetBlue is another one, new opportunity. But we also need to make sure that we're doing a good job to make sure everything is coordinated, and we do the best we can.
At this time, you are allowed a 30-second closing statement.
Absolutely. Well, I just want to thank all of the people that have supported me over the years. And I appreciate their friendship, their kindness, and being my neighbors. I grew up here with all of you. I continue to live here, and I'm going to be here until I die. I hope that you in the future, if you have a concern, will continue to reach out. And I hope you do it in a personal way. I don't like the fact that people are faceless and nameless on the internet and can say anything they want and not have a chance to speak with you personally. I think personal interaction and understanding what makes us together the same is more important than talking about things that divide us, because we have much more in common than we ever will have apart. So thank you for your support, and I look forward to working with you.